So in this video, I want to explain why I don't think van life sucks, but January definitely does. So here I am in a lovely viewpoint that I stay at quite a lot actually, looking out east out towards Scotland. On a good day you'll be able to see Scotland, probably not be able to see it today. But it's the end of January and I'm just want January to be over. I love van life. I've seen videos recently, and you've seen them as well, you know, people saying van life sucks and all these titles on the thumbnails and everything. And I'm sure for some of those reasons, you know, maybe terrible things have happened and, you know, they're valid reasons. But others you think, you know, I don't know, people just getting views or whatever. I love van life, but van life doesn't suck, but January does. January does. Let me tell you my January and why I think it sucks. And it has van related, and the last one really is to do with the van. The first thing happened to me was that I got COVID. Now this was my second only time getting COVID. COVID was sort of ending and we did a business trip to Boston. We were allowed to travel last September. And of course I got COVID. Hit me real hard. And then I was at a wedding. It started January. And that's not the reason why January sucks, because it was a lovely wedding, beautiful wedding, really good fun, 2 really lovely people, met people I hadn't seen for years, met new people. I was singing at the wedding, that was loads of fun, and it was a lovely, lovely wedding right at the beginning. In fact, it was the one shining star in the whole of a gloomy January. But I got COVID straight after, and it hit me not so much bad in the sense of the coughing and the, you know, the cold, the flu-y elements of it, but it was more that my blood pressure went up and I could feel, you know, real pains in my temples, and I actually was dizzy at times, nauseous, all just strange things that were happening, and it was very high blood pressure, and I have a blood pressure monitor because of things in the past which we're dealing with. So I just got that, so I got this illness, and I was at the doctor today. I'm getting sorted, don't worry, I'm getting sorted. But January just hit with that first off, and I don't know about you, January, I'm in the northern hemisphere, so I'm in northwestern Europe here, Northern Ireland, and January is cold. You get through the holiday period, you get through Christmas to New Year, and sometimes that's that strange period where you don't even know what day it is and all that. You have great plans for that week, and then it's just huddle in with your, look at my throat, with your bed clothes. But anyway, that period's okay, but then January hits and it's the darkest, coldest. You know, the sun rises, what, 8:30? So you get sun from maybe 9 a.m. through to about 4 p.m. So no sooner has the day begun, when it starts to, it feels like it's on a trajectory to ending again. You don't want to do things in the evenings as much, because it's cold and wet, and it just seems to have been horrible this just January. And last January, in fact, I was doing lots of work in this van. And I can't think of almost a single day, possibly even apart from today, when I would have even dared to do that this year. So January has been rubbish around here. So that was the first thing, illness. The second thing was I was in this car park the day after the wedding. I was taking a friend to see around these parts in my car, which I was going to sell anyway. But the wind caught the door as we opened the door. And normally a door opens, I don't know, 70 degrees, something like that. The wind caught and just went right angles, crack, bent front panel, hinges, could hardly get the door closed, not sitting right on the side of the car. Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. So that was the second thing, and I had to sell it. But actually the reason why I also had to sell it was because of the third thing. Things come in threes, as they say. Why my January sucks was my van. I was starting it the other day, and you'll hear a sound from a previous video actually. This sound. And this sound, turns out, was the flywheel and the starter motor grinding against each other and basically wrecking things. Which also affected the clutch. Because the next day, not the next day, but a few days later, when I was driving my daughter to school, the clutch wouldn't hardly work, couldn't change gears, and I managed to get it to the mechanics, and the mechanic made those noises that mechanics do, you know. It's going to be a big job. And it was a big job. A week later, and it was 1900. 1900 to get fixed. Clutch, flywheel, starter, some cable that connected from the alternator to the battery. All these things. I'm a Ford Transit. Absolutely gutting. And you can ask my daughter what I was like not having the van. I was just downhearted. Every so often I just kept thinking, my van. You know, I just wanted to be out. I wanted to be here. I wanted to be exploring. I wanted to be living van life. But it wasn't there. But it's coming to an end. Van life definitely doesn't suck. My January absolutely sucks. Absolutely sucks. Let's get it over. I wondered, has your January been any better? Or what do you think? You think January's just out to get us? Well, there's my tale. We're back in the van. I'm so thankful. I'm so glad. I'll maybe talk about the cost of the repairs that I've had to do, not just today, but at other times in another video, because it might help people who are estimating, you know, the price of the van, but also then the price of, you know, potential repairs. But anyway, January sucks. See yous.
Winter walking on the lighthouse way. It's January, freezes over White Hart Bay.